At Ranthambore National Park, a group of friends' average safari drive quickly turned into a nightmare when they were horrifyingly chased by a hungry tiger. At first, they began recording after spotting movement in the bushes up ahead.
Oh my god, he's up. Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
Now in serious fear, the tourists continue driving down the road in hopes of being left alone. But the vicious tiger unfortunately has other plans. Not trying to risk their safety any longer, they thankfully decide to drive at full speed away from the area altogether. The beginning of this clip shows a group of tourists slowly approaching an enormous bison peacefully grazing on grass in Yellowstone National Park.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Eventually, the animal seems to be getting agitated, so some of the tourists try to evacuate the area, but that only makes the beast angrier. Fortunately, the herbivore stops and leaves the group alone in the end. A sunny day in Valewater, South Africa. These men had their enjoyable safari ride take a truly unpredictable turn when they got charged by a furious hippo. Before anything, they begin recording when they notice the curious animal slowly approaching their car from the road behind them.
Ek dink daai
Vlak bietjie Isak.
kyk of ons hom hier kan in. Hou maar net in eerste hoor.
Kan jy sê as jy kan ry?
Not expecting much to go wrong, they attempt to continue their unusual observation while they have the chance, when things very suddenly go south.
Kom maar bietjie.
Luckily for them, they gain sufficient speed where the animal gives up on the chase, and they continue driving away altogether. Manapools National Park, a group of vacationers were peacefully enjoying their breakfast when a furious elephant came and did the unthinkable. At the beginning of the video, the tourists are eating their meals in an open area, while a few elephants are seen approaching in the distance.
Little one. Hi, little one. Hi, little. Oh, it's a little boy.
For a time, all seems to be going well. However, things take a downward turn when some of the animals wander into the lunch area.
Try to stay still when there's elephants next to you. Be flying.
Despite the group's best attempt to remain still and appear as unthreatening as possible, one of the mammals loses its temper and does this. In the aftermath of the attack, the officials dismiss the dangerous elephant, and it is confirmed that the victims are unharmed. While fishing for muskie, this fisherman nearly jumped to his death when a snake randomly decided to pay him a visit. The video opens with the fisherman driving to his chosen location, and upon reaching the said location, he gets into his boat. After getting comfortable in the boat, the man sets up his camera and begins to prepare his fishing gear. Once that is done, he wastes no time throwing in a line.
Now what is in the world is that thing doing trying to eat that?
For quite some time, all seems to be going as planned, and the enthusiastic fisherman even manages to secure his first catch. And then, out of nowhere, the unthinkable happens. In a fortunate turn of events, the snake makes its way out of the boat, leaving the frightened man unharmed. While checking trail cameras with his friend Rachel, this man spotted a sneaky mountain lion spying on them through the bushes and immediately started to panic.
There's a f***ing mountain lion right here. Get back, mountain lion. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back, mountain lion.
As the animal shows no signs of backing down, the pair do their best to de-escalate the situation while trying to back away slowly.
Get back. You good? Chill. Just chill. Get back. Hey, get back. Get back.
A few moments pass, and the animal nonchalantly starts to retreat back into the woods, giving them the chance to make their escape.
Hey, get back. We're here. We're still here. Go away, mountain lion. We're still here. Oh, it's scratching its claws.
Fortunately, after a while, the mountain lion decides to leave the hikers be, and they make it out safely. This intense clip picks up right as these brave men attempt to scare a nearby tiger away from their village. Unfortunately, the situation escalates rather quickly. Luckily for them, the predator decides to spare the men at the very last second and ends up leaving the area completely. A 45-year-old man in Bangkok, Thailand was watching TV in his lounge when he heard some hissing sounds coming out of his living room wall. Having no idea of the terrible situation he was in, he called for help. The rescuers came in and decided to break the plasterboard wall, but what came out of it sent chills down the spine of everyone there. It was a huge python, living in that wall for God knows how long. Rescuers tried getting it out, but it stubbornly remained inside the wall. When the snake finally did come out, it was measured to be 15 feet in length and was transported back to the wild. This next horrifying clip begins by showing a man inside a shark cage, recording his experience under the deep, dark, and dangerous ocean. While waiting for sharks to circle him, his expectations are quickly thrown out the window when an aggressive and hungry shark does something unexpected. Against all odds, the bone-chilling encounter is far from over as the large predator gets its mouth completely stuck in the cage. Unable to free itself, it starts to panic. Thankfully, after a while, the shark manages to wiggle its mouth out, swimming away afterwards. The clip begins intensely with a silverback gorilla scaring a group of tourists by doing something extremely terrifying and unexpected. After the first charge, the giant primate does not leave the group alone and continues to harass the tourist, trying to take pictures of it.
Come this way. Don't worry. Don't run.
Trying to de-escalate the situation, the group makes their movements as silent and slow as possible to avoid angering the gorilla further.
It's a good time for a picture. Huh? Can I take a picture now of it?
This seems to work, and the animal starts to walk away, but it unfortunately decides to show them one last act of aggression. Luckily, it let go of the woman relatively quickly, leaving no one harmed. Calmly walking around in the African wilderness, this Russian tourist came across a huge hippo and suddenly decided to run after it.
Сейчас будем бежать за бегемотом.
Surprisingly, the animal immediately runs in fear as the brave man keeps chasing it down. Feeling satisfied with what he's done, he simply turns around and goes back to minding his own business. This terrifying video starts off with two hunters in a tree stand who had just spotted a black bear below them and quickly started recording. Moments later, the predator becomes overly curious and tries to climb up their tree, prompting them to prepare for the worst. Cautious and afraid of the black bear getting close to them, the man recording decides that he has no other choice but to pull out his bear spray and do this. After getting sprayed in the face, the animal can finally be seen running away from those hunters' tree, going as far as possible. In Miami, Florida, a sewer fishing trip got out of hand when the crew members came face to face with a Burmese python. Watch to see what they did next. As soon as the crew initially reaches the sewer they have chosen to fish in, they catch sight of a humongous snake and immediately get the idea of potentially pulling it out.
We were gonna sewer fish and there's a huge snake.
Straight down, there's a huge snake. Right here is right on its body. It's like right above it. Can you guys see that or no?
Frightened and intrigued at the same time, the men decide to call their friend Jacob, who has experience with snakes, to handle the situation. A few minutes later, Jacob arrives at the scene, and after putting all necessary safety measures in place, he ventures down the sewer. Moments later, he emerges holding this.
I'm okay, I'm okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! It's so much bigger than oh my gosh! No!
After getting over their initial shock, the group helps Jacob lay the majestic predator on the ground so they can get a good look at it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! God! Oh my gosh! Guys! Look at the size of this!
Unfortunately, the video ends as the men are still deciding what to do with the snake, so it is unclear how things played out in the end. In the Lugenda River of Mozambique, a fun kayaking expedition quickly turned into a real-life nightmare when these tourists got attacked by a territorial hippo. Originally, everything seems to be going according to plan, until the man recording suddenly hears something storming through the bushes to his left.
Oh, babe. Hippo. Big hippo. That was hippo for sure, yeah. He just came charging. He was feeding it.
After all grouping back together just in case, they eventually decide to keep going with their expedition as originally planned when something downright horrifying happens.
Just watch, because he charged down this channel there. Just as I said, watch, he's come down this channel.
Now, seriously concerned about their safety, they finally decide to cut their expedition short and call it a day completely. This next terror-striking animal encounter begins by showing a recording of fishermen spearfishing in the deep blue waters of Australia's Coral Sea. The clip shows one of the fishermen trying to haul a fish that he speared, while a larger fish tries to steal it from him. The other fish poses no problem for the fishermen at first, but things eventually escalate as other unwanted visitors join in on the fun. Thinking that their situation couldn't get any worse, the fisherman recording then gets the fright of his life when this happens. Surprisingly, they are able to keep calm despite the shark-feeding frenzy going on just a few feet from them. Thankfully, the frenzy ends after a while, and they are able to swim away unharmed. While taking a walk in the wild, this cameraman was surprised to come across a diamondback rattlesnake and decided to film it from closer. For a few seconds, all appears calm, and the cameraman gets quality footage of the snake. However, things quickly take a terrifying turn. The video ends abruptly with the snake still in striking position, so we can only hope that the man made it out of there safely. Filmed in Kruger National Park, these tourists can be seen recording a large elephant in the middle of the road, blocking their path. When the animal spots their vehicle, it immediately sets its sights on them and starts walking in their direction with a menacing demeanor.
Zal ik maar gewoon stil blijven staan of zo?
Ja, sta maar stil.
Holy fuck.
Luckily, they managed to put some distance between them and the giant, yet this doesn't discourage the majestic animal from proving its dominance.
Oh, moet je achter?
Holy zit er geen auto achter?
As the elephant finally steps off the road, the group tries to move on with their trip in peace, but something absolutely shocking happens.
We gaan weg, ik vind het best hier.
Nee, achteruit!
Weg hier.
Scared and terrified by the giant's actions, screams of terror can be heard coming from the tourists as they proceed to drive away in reverse, putting an end to the video. A family in South Carolina got the shock of their lives when they spotted a huge alligator trying to break into their house through the plate glass windows. Panic struck them all. The homeowners were left locked inside their house and called the rescuers to subdue and transport the reptile, but the alligator was in no mood to leave the place. The rescuers tried hosing down the aggressive animal and tying ropes around it, but no one expected what the stubborn reptile did in reaction to that. The huge predator knocked everything out of its way, but the rescuers finally got the upper hand and dragged it out of the neighborhood. At a national park in Nepal, a few men driving down the road unexpectedly came across a rather large tiger that didn't seem so happy about having visitors. Initially, they decide to pull over after spotting the animal walking across the road up ahead.
Of course, you can't really see it, but it is a big male Bengal tiger.
Contrary to what most would do, the men end up driving up towards the animal in hopes of getting a closer look.
Oh my god, he is beautiful. He's looking behind. He looks very pissed off. We're leaving. The tiger was pissed off.
As the tiger disappears back into the forest, they grab this opportunity to drive away while they still can. This terrifying clip hails from the Indian state of Karnataka, where a snake rescuer named Ashok Kumar had the fright of his life when he went in to rescue a snake from a house. The animal was hiding in the bathroom, and the house owner called Ashok to transport it back into the wild. But no one there had any idea what a monster they were dealing with. When the snake slithered to the floor of the bathroom, the man pulled the tail of the reptile to drag it out into the open, but it was the biggest miscalculation of his life. The way that 14-foot-long king cobra stood up with its flared hood froze the blood of Ashok, but the man composed himself immediately and rescued the snake and took it back to its home in the jungle. To begin this scary encounter, a small group of tourists can be seen recording a cheetah during their game drive in Masai Mara. For a while, the predator seems to be inspecting the vehicle and the people inside of it, but moments later the video cuts to reveal this terrifying sight. The curious cheetah managed to climb inside the vehicle, and surprisingly, the tourists managed to keep calm despite having a lethal hunter right behind them. After a few minutes that must have felt like hours, the animal has a sudden change of plans and starts exploring other parts of the vehicle, leaving everyone inside on edge.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the cheetah turned out to be rather passive and left the scene shortly thereafter. This video begins with what is seemingly a calm video during a spearfishing trip, but a few seconds later, something extremely terrifying catches the unsuspecting fisherman by surprise. After the close encounter, he grabs his partner's legs to inform him of the danger lurking below them. Unfortunately, the clip ends early, and their fate still remains a mystery. This terrorizing clip begins by showing two men walking towards a residential pond, which is allegedly home to a giant and aggressive alligator.
Look at that snakehead right there. Do you see that snakehead?
Yeah. Oh, he's big.
Upon seeing the alligator, they don't waste time and immediately get to work attempting to catch it, but things don't remain peaceful for long.
Oh, that is a big gator.
The struggle goes on for a few minutes as they seem to be having a pretty hard time pulling the heavy animal away from the pond.
Do not let him go back. He's trying to go back. It's all good.
After successfully catching the predator by its neck, one of them proceeds to do the riskiest move by far in an attempt to hold it down.
Hold this full.
Push it down on him?
No, I'm gonna pull it up.
Now that the enormous reptile's mouth is sealed shut, they finally gain the confidence to haul the giant animal to their truck. The rest of the extraction goes smoothly, thanks to their skills and experience. On a rural road in India, a few innocent civilians were unlucky enough to come way too close to a fearless tiger trying to mind its own business. Originally, they quickly begin recording after spotting the animal walking out of the bushes just a few feet away. With everyone there absolutely frozen in fear, the predator begins calmly walking alongside the dirt road towards another group of terrified civilians.
Wait. Nuri, wait.
It's here, it's coming.
After a few minutes, the tiger reveals itself once again and decides to go get a closer look of the cars up ahead.
Bas, bhaiya. Shh, keep quiet. Oh, it's getting irritated.
It wants to cross you.
With the predator still lurking nearby, they unfortunately stop recording, and what happens next remains unknown. In Marshy Point Nature Center, an exploring YouTuber paid the ultimate price for getting on the bad side of a vicious copperhead snake. The clip begins as we see the snake enthusiast taking a walk in the park with his camera turned on in hopes of spotting worthwhile ophidians.
Hoping to hike a snake up or two. Got a couple hours to kill, so without further ado, let's get to it and see what we can find.
For a time, the snake sighting adventure appears to be rather uneventful, and then, out of nowhere, things take a frightening turn.
Oh, no. Not good.
Immediately after getting bitten, the man remains calm and finds a way to inform the appropriate authorities, who in turn step in and handle the situation professionally.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, it just stings a little bit.
It just stinks a little bit? Okay.
One right now.
All right, buddy.
Okay, cool.
We need to get you in that Kubota, or we're going to drive you out here.
Eventually, the explorer is taken to the hospital, where it is confirmed that it was a dry bite, and he is discharged shortly after. A man from Chachoeng Sao, a city in central Thailand, found his dog barking incessantly at his home garage. He went in to check, having no idea what he was going to encounter. A 7-foot-long monitor lizard had made the garage its home. The owner called in rescuers to remove the lizard, but the reptile was more dangerous than they thought it to be. The officers moved the black Honda car, beneath which the monstrous lizard was hiding, and used brute force to take hold of it, which was a big mistake. Finally, when the animal tried escaping through the fence, the rescuers got a chance to tackle it down. They brought the lizard to the ground, tied it with ropes, and sent it back where it belonged. On an Indian wildlife safari, a group of friends had their relaxing expedition turn into a truly dangerous situation when they decided to closely follow an innocent tiger. In the beginning, things pick up rather quickly when they notice the predator walking right towards their car.
बस रुको बस भैया बस तुम मत तू तो हर एक के पीछे
जब कह रहा है समझ ही नहीं रहा.
Trying to mind its own business, the animal simply passes them up and continues walking up the road when the tourists suddenly decide to go after it.
तेरी नौकरी जाएगी तो बता रहा हूँ भगा मत उसको चलो थोड़ा बैक लो.
The clip then jumps to a later moment where the group appears to be still following the tiger around the safari. Eventually, though, they come to realize that the predator seems to be, unfortunately, heading towards them once again.
What sighting यार. आगे ले इधर से आगे ले शाबाश इधर से ले आगे ले. Right ले इधर ले.
Luckily, the animal simply walks by as if nothing is happening, and the tourists finally decide to move on. This petrifying clip starts off with a man recording his snowmobile riding session in a snowy forest in the mountains. However, his supposedly relaxing snowmobile session quickly fell apart after he met an unexpected visitor waiting for him on top of the mountain. Upon seeing the huge bear staring right at him, the rider hastily swerves in another direction and starts speeding away just in case. Thankfully, he managed to dodge the danger in time and continued his ride like normal. On a river in Africa, a group of friends went out on an exciting fishing adventure when they unfortunately ended up being stalked by a relentless hippo. For most of the day, things seem to be going well as they spend their time successfully fishing around the lake, all while recording their every move. At some point, though, they notice a sneaky hippo in the distance, staring them down.
Scott, just wait until that hippo goes away. Come on now, I'll cast on your head.
Ah, this thing is smart. It knows it.
Boy, if this thing comes for us, it's over.
After doing their best to ignore the animal and continue fishing, they eventually begin to feel unsafe and decide to move to a different spot of the lake. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't take very long before their stalker shows up once again.
I'll cast on their head and scare them away. Son of a Sagger. Hey, look. Oh! Wait. It won't come.
Let's go before they form a block. Exactly.
Okay, let's go up that other funny river then.
A few minutes go by when they eventually decide that they won't be risking their safety any longer and thankfully proceed to drive away from the area entirely. On Easter Day, this little girl was out egg hunting around her house when she suddenly had the scare of her life. Watch to see what exactly happened. At the start of the video, the girl is happily walking around the premises searching for Easter eggs under the watchful eyes of her parents.
Come on, help me cheat.
She's good. You should have seen her at school the other day. We had one. Really?
After finding one egg in the potted plants, the excited child decides to take her search to the edge of the nearby bushes, but she ends up finding something else.
Right there? Oh my gosh! Come here, look.
Oh, damn, now that's a snake. Where?
A few minutes go by as the family observes the animal in shock while making sure not to get too close. Eventually, though, the snake realizes that it has been spotted and does this.
He saw something that looked like an egg.
What kind of snake is that?
That's just a typical...
It's not poisonous. Oh. Damn, it's fast!
Luckily, the snake simply disappeared under the pavement and left everybody there unharmed.